Chapter 81 The Recognized Rival, the daughter of the heavenly light forbidden lord who has been slee. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After snapping out of it, Xuanhuan, the king, was practically buzzing with excitement. His daughter had become a follower of the Son of God from the time and space forbidden zone. That meant the Sun and Moon divine dynasty's long-standing problem was finally solved. Chu Li. What are you waiting for? Thank the Son of God for his grace. That snapped Xia Chuli out of her daze. She quickly bowed her head. Thank you, Lord Son of God. I won't let you down, ding. Destiny heroine Xia Chuli is completely smitten with her master. Taming progress increased by 30%. Congratulations. You successfully tamed Destiny heroine Xia Chuli and gained her remaining 2,400 destiny points. Congratulations. You triggered a triple critical hit and gained 7,200 destiny points. Congratulations. You completed the first taming mission and received a 5,000 destiny point reward. Note, a successfully tamed destined person is completely loyal to the master. Their life and death are in your hands. As the system chime faded, another panel popped up for Kong Wudao, name, Xia Chuli, tamed, identity, eldest princess of the Sun and Moon divine dynasty, loyal servant of the master, Kong Wudao, will, controllable, soul, controllable, life and death, controllable. Seeing the new panel, Kong Wudao understood, a completely tamed destiny person was basically his puppet. The only difference was that they still had their own thoughts. Of course, he could completely control and change their will and consciousness through the system options if he wanted. Everything about Xia Chuli was now under his thumb. The banquet rolled on. Even though Xia Chuli hadn't officially become Kong Wudao's follower, it was a done deal. The party got even wilder. Powerful ministers were showing Xuanhuan even more respect because of it. The whole harmony between ruler and subject thing was maxed out, solidifying the Sun and Moon dynasty's rule even further. Maybe it was being tamed, but Xia Chuli kept staring at Kong Wudao with these intense eyes. She whispered, almost obsessively, Lord Son of God, I won't let you down. Back in the time and space forbidden zone, with the Sun and Moon divine dynasty trip wrapped up, Kong Wudao went to the Temple of Time and Space to tell his dad, Kong Wuji, everything. Haha. So, what do you think? You don't seem too thrilled with how it went, huh? Kong Wuji asked with a smile. Kong Wudao chuckled and shook his head. It was a little different than I expected. Maybe he'd been expecting too much from this genius of the recovery era. The letdown was a bit of a bummer. None of the people the system called destined were doing it for him. He was beating them so easily he didn't even need a power-up. Super boring. Don't sweat it. According to our Forbidden Zone ancestors, this recovery era is just getting started. Kong Wuji smiled, seeing what Kong Wudao was thinking. The geniuses coming up will be even more terrifying. I bet they won't bore you. Kong Wudao nodded. The waters in all the heavens and worlds ran deep. Besides the 16 forbidden zones, there were tons of ancient, powerful groups. They'd been around for ages, with countless strong emperors and even legendary true immortals. They kept their real monster prodigies hidden. When the time was right, those monsters would come out swinging for their destiny. Those guys were the only ones worthy of being his opponents. Then again, compared to the hidden geniuses of other ancient powers, he was more interested in an old rival from the Age of Destruction. Back then, there was another big forbidden zone besides his time and space one. The top dog in that zone was one of the strongest opponents he knew. The daughter of the heavenly light forbidden lord also had two seriously OP original physiques. She was the most talented young blood he'd ever faced, hands down. If he hadn't accidentally unlocked two more original physiques because of the system, he wouldn't have been so sure he could beat her. As Kong Wudao was thinking, Kong Wuji spoke again. By the way, you'll probably have to travel the world again soon. The Supreme Realm Guardians are a little weak. How about I set you up with some great emperors as bodyguards? Kong Wudao blinked, smiled, and shook his head. Thanks, but I'm good. I've already got those great emperors' decrees from our ancestors, so don't trouble the seniors in the Forbidden Zone. Plus, having a few great emperors tailing him would take all the fun out of it, and the laws of this era were kinda wonky anyway, emperor-level folks moving around could mess things up, so it wasn't worth it. Okay, you used one emperor's edict on this trip. I'll give you a few more later. Since you don't want emperor bodyguards, how about I get you some imperial weapons to protect yourself? Kong Wudao was speechless, he wasn't even in the Holy Realm yet, and his dad wanted him using imperial weapons. How was he supposed to get any real experience cultivating his Tao like all the other young cultivators? At the same time, somewhere in the starry sky, rumble. A white qilong made of thunder stretched across the sky, unleashing a white halo that washed over everything. The thunder qilong's roar shattered space left and right. It was an incredible sight. In the middle of the rolling halo, a rectangular thing glowing faintly was slowly coming out of the ocean of law. If you looked close, you could see it was covered in ancient inscriptions, and the whole thing was as clear as crystal. It was a crystal coffin. And someone was lying inside. A woman too beautiful for words, like a fairy in a painting. She was lying still in the coffin, with a peaceful little smile. Her long, silver hair, like moonlight, flowed down to her waist. The fancy dress she was wearing seemed to be made of some special, see-through material. It showed off her curves even better, like she was the most perfect work of art ever made, and the silver runes swirling around her were full of ultimate divine power. It made her otherworldly vibe even more holy and untouchable. Under that power, even the laws floating around were being pulled in. They were all merging into the crystal coffin. Suddenly, the woman's eyelashes fluttered, then, the eyes that had been closed for who knew how long slowly opened. The moment they did, a crazy bright light flashed across the starry sky. It was perfect, stunning, and breathtaking. Crack, crack, crack. As the crystal coffin fell apart, the beautiful woman stepped out. She looked around at the unfamiliar place, a little confused. So that sleep was 1,000,000 years long. I wonder what happened to my dad and the others and the Tianyuan Forbidden Zone. She seemed to remember something, and looked up. She whispered, Kong Wudao, are you awake yet? Chapter 82, Taikoo Avenue Mark, a lot of big leaks. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After saying goodbye to his father, Kong Wudao decided to hit the Temple of Time and Space for some serious training. Right on cue, the system panel popped up. Master, Kong Wudao, titles, Son of the God of the Time and Space Forbidden Zone, Son of the Misty Empress, Son of the Time and Space Emperor, Realm, Virtual God Realm, Level 1, Age, 18/22358, Physique, Void Chaos Body, 5000/999999. Qiuan Time and Space Divine Eye, 5000/999999. Devouring Gods Demonic Blood, 5000/999999. Hongmeng Dao. Bone, 5000 pieces 999999 3000 Avenue Mastery, Void Avenue 1000/999999. Gunplay Avenue 1200/999999. Chaos Avenue 2000/999999. And so on. Destiny points, 73550. Kong Wudao smirked. The trip wasn't exactly a picnic, but he'd raked in over 70,000 destiny points. Enough to seriously upgrade his stats and become a whole new level of dangerous. System, how many heaven hunts am I sitting on? Answering Master, Tong Tong has accrued 15 heaven hunts for you. Kong Wudao nodded, deciding to cash those in after his training binge. 2 weeks flew by. Kong Wudao pumped his 4 core stats up to 30,000 each, then he dumped the rest of his destiny points into mastering the 3,000 avenues. After absorbing a bunch of rare and powerful materials, Kong Wudao's cultivation level shot from Virtual God Realm Level 1 to Level 9. He was practically knocking on the door of the God King Realm. That kind of progress was mind-blowing, even on a cosmic scale. But right now, Kong Wudao was deep in thought. He'd used all his accumulated heaven hunts and pulled in some killer loot, plus one weird item. He sat, legs crossed, toying with a strange, glowing crystal shard. It pulsed with raw life energy. He muttered, is this seriously a fragment of the legendary Life Source Pearl? The Life Source Pearl was said to be a divine artifact formed from the great avenue of life after, like, a billion years of evolution. Ancient texts said the 3,000 avenues created these sacred objects from their own power. Owning one meant you had some serious sway over that avenue, but after that brutal war, the 3,000 avenues and their artifacts were shattered, wiped from existence. He never thought he'd snag a piece of the original avenue of life's divine object during a heaven hunt. Still, it's time to meet the Empress of Samsara from the Samsara Dao sect. Pocketing the shard, Kong Wudao geared up to head to Samsara Dao sect. She might be the supreme ancestor of the place, but he was the son of God from the time and space forbidden zone. Keeping her in line wouldn't be a problem. Before he could leave, Dad summoned him back to the temple of time and space. Nice. Kong Wudao beamed, looking at his son with pride. Looks like you had a productive retreat, Wu Dao. Kong Wudao wasn't hiding his cultivation. The aura of virtual god realm level 9 was impossible to miss. Even his own father was floored. Barely over 2 weeks ago, Kong Wudao had been at Dao Palace realm level 7. Now he was practically a god king. That was the kind of speed that broke records across all realities. I called you here with a heads up. While you were training, a crazy bright light show went down in the Tianxiao Dao Realm. We think an ancient artifact might be about to pop out. Your old man here thinks it could even date back to the early days. Might even be a brand of the Taikoo Avenue. If you can absorb it, Wu Dao, it'll be a major power-up. Taikoo Avenue imprint. Kong Wudao was stunned. Throughout the universe's history, aside from the peak of the heavenly era, the most interesting part of history was the virtually unrecorded time of the Taikoo era. Historical texts described the universe's timeline as 5 eras. Taikoo era. The glorious heavenly era. Sangu era. The Emperor's fall era. P.S. The era after the Emperor's fall was called the Age of Destruction, and the heavenly era's resurrection era. In the time of the glorious heavenly era, Taoism reigned supreme, and the 16 forbidden areas stood beyond the world, but the Taikoo was shrouded in mystery. The ancient text spoke of a singular universe and the birth of chaos and Hongmeng. All life could destroy entire realms with a thought. However, all life was shattered, with only the independent worlds remaining. Of course, the realm of immortality was the largest of these world fragments. The Taikoo Avenue was the real thing. The rumor was that these areas held the secrets to immortality. Still, the Tianxiao Dao Realm is a special place. A neutral zone, more or less. Kong Wudao went on. Only folks below the Holy Realm can enter. Anything stronger triggers a massive backlash and gets you killed. So, I'm sending a few top-tier god kings as your bodyguards. Don't count on that Emperor's decree, though. You can't use it yet. But on the bright side, there's no moral high ground to be taken. News about Tianxiao Dao Realm has spread. Every major sect and family will be sending their top prodigies. Kong Wudao perked up, looking surprised. Word got out. That meant a gold mine of XP, Destiny's Children, was headed his way. Chapter 83 Reactions from all parties. Geniuses all appear. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The heavens are vast, and the possibilities endless. Now that something huge is brewing in the Tianxiao domain, it's bound to attract a swarm of geniuses. And this so-called trial? It's just a harvest field waiting to be reaped. Heh. Looks like taming the reincarnation empress will have to wait. Kong Wudao smirked. Tianxiao domain, huh? Hope it's worth my time. Meanwhile, news of the ancient Dao imprint emerging in the Tianxiao domain spread like wildfire through the cosmos. Instantly, countless powerful thoughts collided in the vast starry expanse. The legendary ancient Dao imprint. The Tianbao sect must get its hands on such a treasure. These are wild times, and dangerous forces are rising. This competition is going to be a bloodbath, a real free-for-all. With the help of such a divine artifact, becoming an emperor is practically guaranteed. Maybe even destiny itself will be within reach. The Golden Crow Mountain from the Shenyang domain is joining the fray, a top-tier monster clan. They supposedly control the sun divine fire, a mere spark of which can incinerate the sky and boil the oceans. Absolutely terrifying. These geniuses heading to Tianxiao domain are in for a serious challenge. And it's not just the Golden Crow. The deep-sea dragon clan is also sniffing around. Even the ancient witch clan is sending their best to compete in Tianxiao domain. Our human race's Tianshan sword sect is sending its prodigy, the carefree swordsman. They say he possesses 4-5 elements Xuanhuan sword bones, a true monster. I hear even the Hongqian temple, who normally turn their backs on the mortal world, is getting involved. Hongqian temple. That nunnery known for cultivating detachment from worldly desires, that the powerful figures from all corners of the universe were buzzing with speculation. This event in Tianxiao domain is pulling back the veil on some long-lost secrets, so obviously everyone wants a piece of the action. Soon, their conversation converged on a single, unspoken question. But let's be real, with all this going on, the time and space forbidden zone, with their recent resurgence, is bound to send someone, right? The god's son from the time and space forbidden zone. Kong Wudao. Rumor has it he's a monster. Last I heard, he went to the Beixian domain and wiped the floor with the top genius from the Chaos Holy Land. His power is terrifying, but some heirs of the top lineages scoffed. Chaos Holy Land? What kind of washed-up garbage is that? Kong Wudao's just a bully. Showing off against some nobodies. How can some ancient prodigy even compete with us in this new era of cultivation? I'd like to see just how great Kong Wudao really is in the Tianxiao domain, reincarnation domain, reincarnation sect. The reincarnation empress, ancient ancestor of the reincarnation sect, was also aware of the brewing storm in Tianxiao domain. Seated on her throne, she propped her chin on a delicate hand, lost in thought. Since her rebirth, many memories from her past life had become hazy. She vaguely recalled the events of Tianxiao domain in her previous life, but the details eluded her. One thing she did remember was Kong Wudao's clash with the geniuses of various factions in Tianxiao domain. The clash even escalated into a battle of their backing factions. As if struck by a thought, a wry smile crossed the Empress's lips. Given Kong Wudao's terrifying strength, whatever's in the Tianxiao domain will inevitably fall into his hands. Instead of letting others fight tooth and nail, I'd rather help him out behind the scenes and gain some goodwill. As a powerful empress, her intuition was always sharp. Kong Wudao's sudden visit felt less like a whim and more like a calculated move. She even suspected he knew something. Shaking her head, she sighed. According to my past life's memories, with the emergence of ancient artifacts in the Tianxiao domain, it seems the great laws of the universe have been completely revitalized, and countless ancient secret realms are appearing one after another. Even the 10 legendary miracles are resurfacing. To gain more leverage in the future, we need to prepare now. Time and space forbidden zone. Oblivious to the commotion he was causing, Kong Wudao was focused on preparing for his trip to Tianxiao domain. He'd been using special methods to refine Yunxiao's body, which he'd managed to preserve, into a Dao puppet. Looking at the man before him, whose eyes were closed and somewhat resembled Yunxiao, a faint smile played on Kong Wudao's lips. Now, all it takes is a wisp of my spiritual energy to fully control this puppet. And with that, Kong Wudao released a stream of light formed from his soul. It merged with the Dao puppet before him. The once lifeless puppet seemed to awaken, its eyes snapping open, radiating an aura of pure chaos. Attack me with everything you've got. The Dao puppet immediately obeyed, unleashing the terrifying power of chaos and launching a devastating punch at Kong Wudao. Boom! The resulting energy storm rippled outwards, but Kong Wudao effortlessly caught the puppet's fist, which contained unimaginable power, without budging an inch. Not bad. Worth using those 2 saint-level Dao puppets as materials. After refining Yunxiao's body, its cultivation had barely reached the 9th level of the God King realm. He owed it to the 2 saint-level Dao puppets he acquired during his previous hunt in the heavens. Yunxiao, wherever he was in the underworld, would probably be devastated if he could see this. Kong Wudao raising his body to the 9th level of the God King realm. Even his full force attack couldn't make Kong Wudao flinch. His greatest aspiration was nothing but a joke in front of Kong Wudao. After stowing away the Dao puppet, Kong Wudao slowly walked out of the time and space temple. Next up, Tianxiao Domain. Hopefully this harvest is a little more interesting. Chapter 84, Coming to Tianxiao Dao Realm, the Emperor is Reborn. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Time marches on. Kong Wudao, in a lavish chariot, left the restricted time-space zone, heading for the Tianxiao Domain. This time, he wasn't riding Apocalypse Zhanglong. Apocalypse Zhanglong's cultivation was already at the saint level, making him ineligible to enter the Tianxiao Domain. Of course, he'd also given Apocalypse Zhanglong an assignment. If he hadn't broken through to the saint realm by the time Kong Wudao returned, he'd be making soup out of him. After all, Kong Wudao had zero tolerance for dead weight. Even as his mount, Apocalypse Zhanglong needed to work hard. This trip wasn't a big group. Aside from a few top God King realm experts tailing them discreetly, only 4 emperors, like Kong Jiangyue and Kong Xianyang, were present. The other 5 emperors' sons and daughters were occupied with other matters. Star, the chariot sped along the ancient road through the dazzling starry sky, plunging into a void passage, when the obscuring fog cleared. Kong Wudao and the others found themselves in a different section of space. The Tianxiao Domain was located on the edge of several other domains. Its unique location made it a central hub between worlds. However, because of the special laws within the Tianxiao realm, being stronger than the Holy Realm couldn't enter. The strongest local was only a half-step saint, but these laws also led to the birth of many terrifyingly talented individuals over the eons. Some even left the Tianxiao realm to become emperors in the wider universe. Legend had it that a long time ago, a prodigy known as Yao Xian emerged from the Tianxiao Domain, born from a drop of 9-colored heavenly blood. He was said to be without parents. Eventually, he seized the destiny of the cosmos and became the Emperor of Destiny for that era, surpassing countless other emperors. There could only be one Emperor of Destiny in a lifetime, a testament to Yao Xian's extraordinary talent. The chariot quickly entered the Tianxiao realm. The realm was buzzing with activity, decorated everywhere, and filled with geniuses from countless other domains. Like Wu Dao, they had come for the Taikoo Avenue imprint. "My lord," Kong Jiangyue said respectfully, "the Forbidden Lord said there are allies from our restricted time-space zone here in the Tianxiao Domain. We can settle in with them first." "All right, lead the way." Kong Wudao nodded. Rumble, Star, the chariot, roaring through space, sped towards a city. Meanwhile, in All Saints City, divine ships and flying boats sliced through the sky above All Saints City. Terrifying young figures descended upon the city. There were powerful local geniuses from the Tianxiao Domain, as well as many from other domains. Man, seems like the Tianxiao Domain's gonna be wild these next few days. So many geniuses from other domains are showing up. We can't afford to mess with them. That's nothing. These people from other realms who've shown up in All Saints City are just the tip of the iceberg. There are more out there. Humph. What are you worried about? Don't forget the special laws of the Tianxiao Domain. Sure, there aren't any big shots above the Holy Realm in our Tianxiao Domain, but those outside the Holy Realm can't come in either. In a straight-up brawl, we'll see who comes out on top. Countless local monks from the Tianxiao Domain were talking in All Saints City. They knew about the Taikoo Avenue imprint. Such a great opportunity should have been theirs. Why should outsiders snatch it away? If it's just people under the Holy Realm, their Holy Palace prodigies in All Saints City are no slouches. The Tianxiao realm wasn't like the myriad worlds, with countless ancient holy grounds, immortal families, or immortal traditions. Instead, there were holy palaces, similar to academies. These holy palaces were created by the heavenly Dao within the Tianxiao realm. Each year, they hosted special selections to scout out outstanding young talent. If you wanted to become stronger, leave the Tianxiao Domain, and become a legend among the heavens. Entering the Holy Palace was the best way. The Tianyuan Holy Palace was one of those academies. Meanwhile, in front of a dilapidated wooden house within the Tianyuan Academy. Ha ha ha. Moheo, how dare you, a nobody who's been around for thousands of years, keep hanging around the Holy Palace. Go back to the Nailan family and be their son-in-law. Humph. That loser's just riding his fiancée, senior sister Nailan's, coattails. Otherwise, how would he ever get into my Tianyuan Holy Palace? Think you're something just 'cause you're gonna marry into the Nailan family? You're still a pheasant, not a phoenix. You better have those elixirs ready for me tomorrow. Or I'll be breaking more than your leg." That a wave of laughter erupted. Several monks in holy palace attire glared at the young man lying in the mud. Seeing that he wasn't moving, the leader frowned and gestured for one of his followers to wake him up. "Hey! Mu Hao, you dead or something, you bum? Didn't you hear our boss talking to you?" Still motionless, the man was angry and kicked him hard in the head. But at that moment, the young man in the mud twitched, reached out, and grabbed his foot. "You really are a piece of..." Before he could finish the insult, Mu Hao looked up. His cold eyes seemed to radiate murderous intent, and the temperature dropped. The surrounding monks paled. What was happening? His gaze made them feel an inexplicable fear. Mu Hao had always been the doormat of the Tianyuan Holy Palace, someone they could push around for fun, but now, he seemed like a different person. "Get out of my sight, worm!" Mu Hao threw the monk whose ankle he was holding like a ragdoll. Boom. Boom. Boom, star. The monk crashed through several trees before finally landing hard in the distance, completely unconscious. "Mu Hao, what?" The other monks were shocked. The guy who'd been tossed had a higher level of cultivation than Mu Hao. How could he be taken out without any resistance? Before they could react, a dark shadow flashed before their eyes, a terrifying force slammed into their faces. Under that power, they were sent flying and knocked unconscious. "How dare this trash act so presumptuously in front of me?" Rubbing his stinging palms, Mu Hao was confused. "Didn't I die in the great battle in the Emperor's Fall era? Why am I here?" Just as Mu Hao was bewildered, a sharp pain shot through his head, and memories flooded his mind. After a moment, understanding dawned in his eyes. "This is, the Tianxiao domain. All Saints City. I was reborn in a later era." Chapter 85 9 Light Emperor. Just a treasure hunter. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mu Hao was ecstatic. Actually, scratch that, we should call him the Nine Lights Emperor, the Immortal Shaker. He was a legend in the Tianxiao Dao Realm, a big deal. He left the Tianxiao Dao domain and fought his way to becoming the legendary Destiny Emperor, snagging the ultimate prize in the heavens and realms. In his past life, he was born from a drop of 9-colored celestial blood. Everyone called him a child of God, and he owned that title. Not only did he have the legendary holy body of heaven, but he also had the blood of the heavens. From the moment he rose to power, he fought battle after battle, crushing countless geniuses. Finally, he won the destiny and became the Destiny Emperor, acknowledged by the great Tao itself. But then, during the Emperor's Fall era, he ticked off an even scarier Destiny Emperor. He lost in a single move and was taken out, gone for good, but somehow, he got a lucky break. He should have been dust. But he was reborn in the era that followed. Okay, it wasn't a total do-over, but still, he kept his memories. Even in a new life, he had total confidence that he'd be even bigger than before. Too bad this body isn't my old one. It's too weak, no bloodline at all. I wonder if that thing hidden in my soul came back with me. The Immortal Shaker thought about it. The air shimmered, runes spread out, turning into a finely crafted jade box. Seeing the box, the Immortal Shaker's eyes lit up, and he couldn't wait to tear it open. Whoosh! A flash of brilliant light erupted, then, a drop of 9-colored blood, radiating irresistible power, appeared. 9-colored celestial blood, the Immortal Shaker exclaimed, overjoyed. That blood was the source of his being. It was a huge part of why he became so powerful. The blood had crazy power and could even help him connect with the heavens in this world. This was his biggest ace in the hole. I can't believe the 9-colored celestial blood was reborn too. With my memories, this life's destiny is mine, too. A confident grin spread across his face. The original owner of this body is called Mu Hao, right? What a loser. Always treated like trash, even as a live-in husband. Even his fiancée looks down on him. The Immortal Shaker chuckled. Don't worry. I'll take care of your wishes. Those who've dissed you will pay 100-fold. And I'll show you the sights that only a Destiny Emperor gets to see. Boom. Clouds churned over Halloween City as a shiny chariot broke through and emerged. the roar was deafening, shaking the whole city. Everyone stopped to stare. Damn! That's a chariot made of soul-nurturing jade. What big shot is this? Soul-nurturing divine jade is rare. It can boost a cultivator's soul. And they're using it for a chariot? Look at the flag. Everyone's eyes shot to the flag waving in the wind, for dragons and phoenixes danced, full of meaning, slamming into the minds of the cultivators. Time and space restricted zone. The immortal shaker saw the flag, too, and his eyes turned cold. The reason he'd fallen was because he messed with the Emperor of Destiny from the time and space restricted zone. That Emperor finished him off. Now, he meets someone from that zone as soon as he's reborn. And just looking at them, whoever's in that chariot is someone special. Maybe a top descendant of some big shot from that time and space restricted zone. Are they here for the Taikoo Avenue brand, too? Having Wu Dao's memories, the immortal shaker knew what was going on. The Taikoo Avenue was a big deal, getting it would be huge and could help him break the Emperor's chains. He was even more excited now. I'm not just here for revenge. I want to find a path even better than my last life. I don't just want the Taikoo Avenue brand. These time and space zone guys need to die. But he was too weak right now, he couldn't face them head-on. He needed to get stronger first. Now that I have the 9-colored celestial blood, I should be able to connect with the heavenly Dao in the Tianxiao Dao domain. He had a plan and took off. At the same time, Kong Wudao, meditating in the chariot, heard the system again. Ding. Special person detected. Off the charts. Owner should hunt. Kong Wudao opened his eyes, a strange light in them. Special person. What's that? This person's identity is beyond words. A special creature from the Tianxiao Dao domain. He's not just a person of destiny, but a son of heaven. A superperson. Kong Wudao was intrigued. So, he's in Halloween City, yes. I've marked his location, Tianyuan Holy Palace. Name, Wu Dao, body snatched. More information needed. Kong Wudao got it. To learn more, he had to find the guy and let the system analyze him. The whole body snatching thing was interesting. Was it like some rebirth story? And judging by the description, this guy was just reborn and took over. Kong Wudao had a good guess. Plus, he's a son of heaven in the Tianxiao Dao domain. So, all the luck in this area is flowing to him, huh? Interesting, maybe this guy can help me find the Taikoo Avenue brand. The Taikoo Avenue brand was in this realm. After all, if no one else got involved, this was their shot. But now this weirdo shows up. Something felt off, but ultimately, his only purpose was to be his treasure hunter. Chapter 86 The Fiancé of the Destined Man. An Unimaginable Hope. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Halloween City, the Nalan family. Something's definitely up with the Nalans today. All the family's highest-ranking ancestors have crawled out of the woodwork. The entire Nalan clan is waiting respectfully outside, like they're rolling out the red carpet for someone. One figure in particular stands out, a stunning woman radiating cool elegance, her curves hugged by a long Xuanhuan dress that just screams "Conquer me." This is Nalan Xuanhuan, the eldest daughter of the family and Wu Dao's fiancée. She was supposed to be training at the Tianyuan Holy Palace, but then, her grandfather called, ordering her back to welcome some big shot. Xuanhuan is both puzzled and curious. Who could possibly command this kind of respect from the Nalan family, one of Halloween City's big four? Boom! The sky cracks open with a roar, and a streak of light crashes down into Nalan airspace. A God King level expert, a powerhouse of the 9th level, steps forward, unleashing an aura that makes the very air tremble. He gazes down from above at the Nalan family members kneeling below. You the Nalan family. His voice booms like a god's own bell, shaking Halloween City to its core. Yes. Welcome, Your Excellency. The Nalan family patriarch practically leaps from the crowd, kneeling respectfully in the void. The arrival of the Son of God, Wu Dao, is an honor beyond measure for the Nalan family. The patriarch was once a guard in the time and space restricted area. Later, as he aged, he was discharged and given ample resources to take root and build a life in the Tianxiao Dao domain. This kind of thing happens across all realms. It shows the master's generosity, plus, it's a way to spread influence, planting spies everywhere. Although the patriarch is only at the 9th level of the God-King realm. In Tianxiao Dao domain, with its special laws, he's top tier. He got the news early on that the Son of God from the time and space restricted area would be setting up shop with the Nalans. As a former guard, he knew all about the legend of the Son of God. Now that such a VIP has arrived, he can't contain his excitement. The younger members of the family are blown away by the patriarch's subservient attitude. It's not just his respectfulness that stuns them, the young figures standing in the sky are simply too much. They're about their age, but the terrifying aura they radiate makes the Nalan kids feel like insects before a storm. These young hotshots could wipe out the Nalan family without breaking a sweat. Hum. Suddenly, the chariot flashes, a figure appears, a young god wreathed in dazzling runes. An even more terrifying aura engulfs the world. This is the VIP they're here to greet. The Son of God from the time and space restricted area, Wu Dao. A few of the braver girls steal glances, and immediately feel lightheaded upon seeing Kong Wudao's breathtakingly handsome face. He's an immortal, pure and simple. Plus, the two imperial daughters standing next to him are impossibly beautiful, like something out of myth. As if sensing the gaze below, the imperial daughters glance down, causing many of the onlookers to tremble and lower their heads, afraid to look again. But Kong Wudao's gaze locks onto Xuanhuan. Back in the chariot, the system had detected another surge of destiny power. Name, Xuanhuan. Identity. Eldest daughter of the Nalan family, true heir to the Tianyuan Holy Palace, and fiancée of the destined one, Wu Dao. Realm, first level of the Dao Palace realm. Physique, Taiyin sacred body, untouched, can comprehend the power of Taiyin, a top-tier furnace. Its Yuan can help those who obtain it understand the power of Taiyin and improve their cultivation qualifications. Skills, Tai Xian Heart Sutra, Sheng Yuan Sword Technique, Tai Chi Body Refining Technique. Destiny Points, 8,000. Possible drops, Fragments of the Ice Avenue, Alchemy Avenue. Kong Wudao raises an eyebrow, the Taiyin Holy Body. He knows the Taiyin Holy Body is not only an excellent furnace, but also a top-tier body for alchemy. Awakening the Taiyin Holy Body means controlling Taiyin Fire. Taiyin Fire transcends the 5 elements. While a flame, it's relatively gentle. Refining elixirs with Taiyin Fire has a much higher success rate. One thing confuses him, she's a Taiyin saint, but her other stats seem average, yet, she has 8,000 destiny points. Could it be because she's Wu Dao's fiancée, she gets extra destiny juice? After all, the system said Wu Dao is no joke, his destiny and luck are off the charts. Back in the crowd, Xuanhuan feels Kong Wudao's assessing gaze. She, who started out deeply respectful, can't help but tremble, lowering her eyes, afraid to meet his gaze. Her curves and the allure of the Taiyin Holy Body mean she's used to lustful stares, but Kong Wudao's gaze is condescending, like he sees her as an object. Lord Shensi, has my granddaughter offended you? Seeing Kong Wudao's silence, the already nervous Nalan patriarch gets even more so, asking in a low voice. He doesn't think Kong Wudao is interested in his granddaughter. He was a guard in the time and space restricted area. He knows what the Son of God represents. He could snap his fingers and have any woman he wants, from anywhere in the world. Why would he be interested in some pretty girl? He wouldn't dare hope for that, let alone think about it. Chapter 87, Guide, Learn to Put Down Your Dignity. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Kong Wudao shook his head calmly. It's nothing. Just show me the way. Yes, Lord Shensi, this way please. The Nalan family patriarch visibly relaxed, then gave a respectful smile. He led Kong Wudao and his entourage into the Nalan family estate. Kong Wudao's arrival created a huge buzz, naturally grabbing the attention of everyone in Halloween City. Many local cultivators stared in disbelief at the direction of the Nalan residence. Looks like a big shot has arrived at the Nalan's place. The Nalan family is one of the top families here. Their patriarch is a powerhouse, rumored to be at the half-step saint level. Even the city lord of Halloween shows him respect. I can't believe he's being so deferential to this young master. Seriously. I definitely heard the Nalan patriarch refer to himself as, your humble servant. Wow, this young man's identity must be beyond our wildest dreams, that while the locals gossiped, the faces of the visiting geniuses from other regions noticeably changed. They were starting to put two and two together. Who else but a son of God from the time-space restricted zone would have a chariot built with soul-nurturing divine jade? Those time-space restricted zone guys went to the Nalans. On a mountain peak within the Tianyuan Holy Palace, Yao Xian stood facing the wind, glaring in the direction of the Nalan family. The original owner of this body was engaged to someone in the Nalan family. He was basically their son-in-law. Now, some outsider is visiting his fiancée's family. He could feel the body's emotions surging. It seemed unwilling to accept this and felt ashamed that someone else was hitting on his girl. Don't worry. I've got your body now, and I won't ignore your feelings. You won't be stuck being just a son-in-law. I'll help you return with your head held high, and show these scornful guys what it means to be a true dragon soaring through the heavens, that even if it wasn't for the original owner of this body, Mu Hao, he would still want to take down these time-space restricted zone guys. After all, wasn't he betrayed and killed as the Emperor of Destiny in his previous life because of them? He's going to get his revenge. Meanwhile, inside the Nalan family mansion, everyone had gathered. Many influential figures, who usually held sway over Halloween City and could make it tremble with their actions, were now standing respectfully to the side. Like servants, the Nalan family's most powerful patriarch had started out as a guard in the time-space restricted zone. The person before them was the most esteemed son of God from that domain. Don't let my presence make you uneasy. Just carry on as usual. Seated on the throne, Kong Wudao gently placed his teacup down, his expression calm and pleasant. Despite his high status, he still exuded an air of refinement and elegance. The Nalan family members were flattered, but they knew it was all just restrained condescension. The polite exterior was simply good manners, or perhaps a nod to their patriarch's past as a guard in a time-space restricted zone. Thank you, Lord Shensi, that the Nalan family patriarch quickly bowed. Sir, the Son of God must be here for the legendary ancient mark. The Nalan family is willing to throw all its resources into helping you obtain it. That the imminent appearance of the Taikoo Avenue imprint in the Tianxiao Dao domain was no secret, so, they naturally knew why Kong Wudao was here. That won't be necessary. I've already made up my mind about that. Kong Wudao smiled. However, I just arrived and don't know much about Halloween City. So, I'd like to take a stroll around. His words caused a stir among the Nalan family. They all understood the implication. The eyes of the younger Nalan family members, both male and female, lit up with anticipation. They eagerly offered to be Kong Wudao's guide. Lord Shensi. I've lived in Halloween City my whole life. I know every street and alley like the back of my hand. Let me be your guide. Lord Shensi. I not only grew up in Halloween City, but I also know the surrounding area very well. I also know a lot about the ancient history of Halloween City. Please choose me. Lord Shensi. I've been called the know-it-all of Halloween City since I was a child. If you want, I can tell you the exact color of undergarments the women in this city are wearing. Lord Shensi. I know everything about the Tianxiao Dao domain, and I'm also good at singing, dancing, and serving tea. That the young members of the Nalan family eagerly presented their qualifications. They wanted to impress Kong Wudao and become his guide. Given his status, even being a useless guide would be a dream come true. Among the crowd, Nalan Xuanhuan, who had been slow to react, pursed her lips in embarrassment. She hadn't expected her normally reserved family members to be so eager to get on his good side, even faster than her, the Nalan family's eldest daughter. She probably didn't stand a chance. But Kong Wudao ignored all the eager young cultivators. His gaze went straight through the crowd and landed on Nalan Xuanhuan. Nalan Xuanhuan was the only acceptable guide. The next step was the Tianyuan Holy Palace. She was the true successor of the Tianyuan Holy Palace and also his oddly destined fiancée. Without Nalan Xuanhuan in the upcoming drama, it wouldn't be as fun. I wonder if Miss Nalan would be willing to be my guide. Kong Wudao's voice, with a hint of a smile, echoed in the room. the previously noisy space fell silent. Everyone's eyes turned to Tianxiao almost instinctively, especially the young Tianyan family members who had been so enthusiastically promoting themselves. Their eyes were now green with envy. Xuanhuan. What are you standing there for? The Tianyan family patriarch shouted, finally snapping Tianxiao out of her daze. She quickly stepped forward, then, under everyone's gaze, she knelt down with respect, lowered her head, and said, "Thank you, son of God Wu Dao, for your appreciation. It would be my honor to be your guide." As the eldest daughter of the Tianyan family, Tianxiao had been trained as a successor and was used to seeing big events. She knew that in front of a young figure like Kong Wudao, who was far beyond her understanding, she couldn't hold on to so-called dignity. She had to keep her posture low. Chapter 88 Young Adults, Terror Backfires. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Alright, the system just chimed in. Ding. Looks like our girl Tianxiao is ready to play ball. You gonna bag her right now, or take your time and break her in? Kong Wudao didn't even hesitate. He was going the tame route. After all, the Tianyan family had connections to his time-space restricted zone. Killing her outright would reflect poorly on the zone's rep. Besides, Tianxiao was worth more to him alive. Ding. Tianxiao submission up 8%. 800 destiny points deducted, leaving 6,200. Jackpot. Double critical hit. You scored 1,600 destiny points. Kong Wudao gave a little nod, a smile playing on his lips. Rise, Miss Tianyan. I, the Son of God, am headed to the Tianyuan Holy Palace in All Saints City. I'll need you to show me the way. Yes, sir. Receiving Kong Wudao's answer, Tianxiao stood and responded respectfully. She had no idea why he wanted to go to the Tianyuan Holy Palace, but Tianxiao was smart enough not to ask questions she shouldn't. Seeing that Kong Wudao had picked his guide for the trip, the young disciples of the Tianyan family were bummed. Tianxiao might be the eldest daughter, but they were green with envy that such a huge opportunity had landed in her lap. After a few quick preparations, Tianxiao led Kong Wudao toward the Tianyuan Holy Palace. Kong Wudao took care of other matters, giving Kong Xianyang and the other emperors their assignments. For this trip, he was only bringing Kong Jiangyue and Tianxiao. The journey was smooth sailing, with Tianxiao leading the way. They arrived at the mountain gate of the Tianyuan Holy Palace in no time. The gate was made of black and yellow meteorite iron, hundreds of feet tall, easily accommodating a dozen flying boats at once. 2 disciples of the Tianyuan Holy Palace stood guard. When they saw Tianxiao, they bowed respectfully. Greetings, Senior Sister Tianyan. Tianxiao was one of the top 10 true disciples of the Tianyuan Holy Palace. Plus, as the eldest daughter of the Tianyan family, she commanded respect from everyone in the Holy Palace. Hey. Tianxiao nodded slightly, then turned to introduce, these 2 are honored guests of my family. They'd like to have a look around the Holy Palace. Hearing this, the 2 disciples finally noticed Kong Wudao and Kong Jiangyue behind her. Especially when they saw Kong Wudao, it felt like they'd been hit by a freight train of psychic power. Their souls trembled, and they felt insignificant. They were just dust motes, staring at the sun. What scared them even more was that he looked to be about their age, but the gap between them was a chasm they could never hope to cross, even if they lived 1,000 lifetimes. They both came to the same conclusion. These honored guests Tianxiao mentioned had to be descendants of some super-powerful family from another realm. It took a long moment for them to snap out of it. They quickly bowed. Greetings. It's an honor to have you visit our Tianyuan Holy Palace. Please, wait here a moment. We'll inform the elders. If it had been ordinary visitors, a simple sign-in would have been enough, but Kong Wudao and company gave off the impression of immense power, and they were guests of the Tianyan family. They weren't taking any chances. They would alert the elders. That won't be necessary. Kong Wudao interrupted. I just wanted to stroll around. Miss Tianyan has made everything clear. No need to make a fuss. Well. The 2 disciples started to object, but Kong Wudao's gaze cut them off. Their expressions changed. They lowered their heads and bowed deeply. Yes, sir. Please, go right ahead. It was a little against protocol. sure, but they were just regular disciples, earning a few spirit stones per shift. This wasn't worth risking their lives. Once Kong Wudao had entered the gate and his aura had faded completely, the two disciples breathed a collective sigh of relief. One of the younger disciples said, "Senior brother, having someone that terrifying in our Tianyuan Holy Palace. Shouldn't we tell Elder Gong? What if something goes wrong?" After all, the Tianyuan Holy Palace was the best training ground in the Tianxiao Dao domain, full of talented people, but also arrogant ones. If some idiot ticked off Kong Wudao, it could mean big trouble for the Holy Palace. Relax. Don't forget that senior sister Nalan is guiding him. The older disciple said, as the true successor of our Tianyuan Holy Palace, she won't let anyone offend him. Besides, they are clearly strangers. Other elders are sure to take notice anyway. Still, the disciple couldn't help but wonder, what kind of person could command such respect from their senior sister Nalan? Where did he come from? Deep inside the Tianyuan Holy Palace, an old man playing chess with the great elder of the Holy Palace froze, his hand hovering over the board. His calm expression was replaced by one of disbelief. "Palace Master, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost." The great elder asked. The old man was Master Tianyu, the head of the Tianyuan Holy Palace. He didn't respond. His face grew paler, and he stood abruptly, knocking over the chessboard. He didn't even notice. He was too busy staring in the direction of the gate. "Two unknown powerhouses have entered our Tianyuan Holy Palace." That without another word, Master Tianyu began a divination. He sensed that these two strangers were exceptionally young. He suspected they were descendants of a top family from another realm, but halfway through the divination, he seemed to encounter a great terror, and his energy surged. He coughed up a mouthful of blood. "Palace Master," that the great elder rushed to help him, shocked. How could their Holy Palace Lord suffer such a severe backlash from a simple divination? "I'm fine." Master Tianyu waved his hand. "Hurry. Help me up. I need to meet this young man." That he was only a half step away from becoming a saint, not quite there yet, but he could still borrow some power from heaven to see certain things. Just having the idea to do a divination had resulted in a terrifying backlash. There was no doubt, this young man had a background beyond anything he could imagine. Their Tianyuan Holy Palace couldn't afford to slight him. Chapter 89 Tianyuan Holy Palace, a son-in-law becomes a legend? You are listening at novelfull.audio. At Nalan Churan's lead, Kong Wudao and his group quickly arrived at the heart of the Tianyuan Holy Palace. Kong Wudao's goal was simple, to meet these so-called people of destiny and see if any others might be lurking around. Sadly, they hadn't encountered any so far. With their striking presence, Kong Wudao's team immediately drew attention in the bustling core of the Holy Palace. "Hey, look! It's Nalan. Who are those two with her? They look like outsiders. Not from the Holy Palace, that's for sure. Doesn't that woman in white just outshine Nalan in elegance and beauty?" That it wasn't just that disciple. Plenty of other monks noticed Kong Jiangyue's ethereal beauty. Her porcelain features and serene aura were captivating. Likewise, Kong Wudao's handsome face and otherworldly vibe left many female cultivators spellbound. Dressed in white, he seemed to radiate a light that dimmed everything else around him. Who is that gorgeous guy? Is he Nalan's cousin or something? Strangers are like jade, and young masters are like twins. I'm swooning. Swooning? You're not even wet. You don't get it. I'm in love. The Holy Palace buzzed with speculation about Kong Wudao and his companion. All this chatter's going to upset the Son of God. Nalan Churan said, "Would you like to rest in my chambers, Son of God?" Suddenly, the noise died down. Everyone who hadn't been in the loop turned to Nalan, whose every gesture toward Kong Wudao dripped with respect. Her offer to have him rest in her chambers ignited gossip. Holy crap! Did she just invite him to her place? Nalan is our goddess, every hero's dream girl. Is she really inviting a guy to her chambers, out in broad daylight? My dreams are crushed. Who is this dude? He's got a woman even prettier than Nalan, and now Nalan's chasing after him too. What a bummer. Wait, isn't Nalan engaged to that loser, Mu Hao? I wonder what he's going to think about this, that the crowd suddenly remembered Mu Hao. That young master oozes class. He and Nalan are perfect for each other. I'd rather see Nalan with someone like him than stuck with that deadbeat. Everyone knew about the Holy Palace's most famous loser, Mu Hao, and his engagement to the stunning Nalan. It made the other monks seethe with envy and hatred. How could their goddess be tied to a nobody? And now, Nalan was inviting another man to her chambers. Wasn't that a slap in the face for her fiancé? Nalan frowned, displeased by the gossiping. Though she loathed the idea of marrying Mu Hao, the whispers were damaging her reputation. Oh. Miss Nalan's engaged? Kong Wudao asked casually. And it sounds like her fiancé doesn't have the best reputation. Nalan sighed, forcing a smile. It's a long story, son of God. My father was once in a tough spot, and Mu Hao's father saved him. Back then, my family wasn't as well off. To repay the debt, my father arranged this engagement. I was willing to honor my father's wishes, but Mu Hao is just lazy. We brought him into the Holy Palace, but he didn't bother practicing. Instead, he acted like we were insulting him and just gave up. A hint of disappointment flashed in her eyes. She'd actually liked Mu Hao when they were younger. But as he grew up, he became paranoid, always thinking the Nalan family looked down on him. Especially when they suggested he marry into the family. He declared something about how fortunes change, and that one day, the Nalan family would respect him. She found the whole thing ridiculous. The Nalan family was one of the top families in Halloween City, and she was the eldest daughter. Mu Hao's family was poor, practically ruined. They were mismatched. If not for the old debt, their paths would never have crossed. It would be humiliating for her, the eldest daughter, to marry into a declining family. People would gossip and bring shame to the Nalan name. So, they'd set conditions for him to marry in, which he'd taken as a huge insult. Kong Wudao found it all fascinating. The son-in-law everyone scorns. One day, some unknown force takes over, and his dull life gets a makeover. Then the legend begins, full of comebacks and revenge. Too bad the guy was unlucky. He'd run into him. As Kong Wudao was about to ask about Mu Hao, a sultry female voice cut through the air. Sir, Nalan is already spoken for. Anyone saying otherwise is trying to manipulate you. Don't be fooled, sir. P.S. Do you want more female protagonists or no female protagonists? The author is asking for advice here. Chapter 90, Identity Exposed, Shocking Twist. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The speaker's words immediately drew the attention of many monks present. It was a woman with a killer figure, dressed in the same robes as the Holy Palace disciples. But her ample chest strained against the fabric. Wang Zijin, quit the slander. Nalan Qiran snapped, her face darkening. The Wang family, to which Wang Zijin belonged, was one of Halloween City's 4 top families, and they had a long-standing feud with the Nalans. As the eldest daughters of their respective families, they had been rivals within the Tianyuan Holy Palace for ages. Wang Zijin's words were just a way to get under Nalan's skin. Wang Zijin sashayed over to stand near Kong Wudao, bowing respectfully. Wang family, Zijin at your service. As one of the city's elite families, the Wangs had their own intelligence network. They'd learned of the arrival of several young dignitaries at the Nalan residence. Seeing Nalan Qiran's deference towards Kong Wudao, she correctly assumed he was a VIP guest. Always looking for ways to keep the Nalans in check, she naturally wanted to connect with Kong Wudao. Wang family, huh? Kong Wudao raised an eyebrow, his gaze sweeping over her. Her actions seemed casual, but were clearly calculated, especially the display of her cleavage. It was all clear to him. But when Wang Zijin met his eyes, she gave a shy smile, feigning modesty as she tugged at her shirt, modestly, covering herself. She and Nalan Qiran were known as the twin beauties of the Tianyuan Holy Palace, and she was confident in her looks. She figured she'd made a good impression on Kong Wudao. However, Kong Jiangyue and Nalan Qiran, standing beside Kong Wudao, both frowned. Kong Jiangyue considered her behavior vulgar, a complete desecration of the Son of God, and she deserved to be punished. Nalan Churan worried that Kong Wudao might respond to Wang Zijin, hurting the Nalan family. Kong Wudao's expression remained impassive. He casually ordered Kong Jiangyue, get rid of this bird in front of me. Yes, Kong Jiangyue responded, unleashing a world-shattering aura. Boom, she waved her hand, and a surge of divine light materialized into a giant palm, slamming down on Wang Zijin. You! Wang Zijin's face went white, she never expected such a violent reaction. This was the Tianyuan Holy Palace, and she was a Wang family daughter. How dare they? But Kong Jianyue's power was on a completely different level. In an instant, Wang Zijin was crushed into a bloody mist, her soul obliterated. Kong Jianyue brushed it off like swatting a bug, then resumed her position behind Kong Wudao. Unlike the nonchalance of Kong Wudao and Kong Jianyue, the onlookers were stunned, their eyes wide with shock. They couldn't believe someone dared to act with such impunity in the Tianyuan Holy Palace, killing one of their top true disciples, Wang Zijin. Wasn't it a bit much to cause such a scene on their turf, showing such disregard for the Holy Palace? What terrified many disciples even more was Kong Jianyue's aura. She looked to be around their age, but how could she possess such power? And to think, she was just this guy in white's maid. Outrageous. Several elders of the Tianyuan Holy Palace, arriving on the scene, roared, surrounding Kong Wudao and his group. They were furious. One of the major rules of the Tianyuan Holy Palace was no fighting. Yet, an outsider had just broken it, a blatant provocation. Kong Wudao didn't even acknowledge the elders' threats. The strongest among them was only at the first level of the God-King realm. His own cultivation had already reached the 9th level of the virtual God realm. Killing them would be like swatting flies. Elder. It's a misunderstanding. Nalan Churan cried, stepping in front of Kong Wudao and his group. She knew she was partly responsible for the situation. Moreover, Kong Wudao was a guest of their family, and his status was extraordinary. He couldn't get into trouble here. Nalan Churan. Don't forget, you're a disciple of the Tianyuan Holy Palace. An elder snapped. I don't know who these two are from your Nalan family, but killing someone here is against the rules. You must. Before the elder could finish, an even angrier voice boomed from the sky, how dare you act so recklessly? 2 streams of light descended from the horizon, landing in front of Kong Wudao. The elders of the Tianyuan Holy Palace were ecstatic. Palace Master. Great Elder, although they were elders, they were still intimidated by Kong Wudao. With the arrival of the Holy Palace's 2 strongest figures, surely they could be suppressed. Instead of attacking Kong Wudao, Master Tianyu turned on the elders, slap. Slap. Slap, he slapped them hard across the face, sending them flying with bloodied mouths. The elders were stunned, as were the disciples. These 2 adults are esteemed guests of the Tianyuan Holy Palace. Who authorized your disrespect? After another furious rebuke, Master Tianyu and the great elder hurried to Kong Wudao, bowing their heads respectfully under the incredulous gazes of the crowd. The Tianyuan Holy Palace apologizes for the oversight. Please forgive our failings.